This is the first time we're going to do a live podcasting so welcome to Hollywood Deli. I'm your host, Blue. So we're going to talk about the sneak peek that's been going on around um, TikTok. So I couldn't get my browser to go up, so it's cool. I found an alternative. We're just going to listen to it audible. All right.
And so I come into this. Mary and I get married, and I get married again to Janelle, and I get married again to Christine. And I look back, and because I was so anxious to be living the principle of plural marriage, that I was not vetting who I was marrying to be compatible with me. The blame lays on one thing and one thing only. If you're going to marry and you're going to marry for eternity, you should start out in love. I thought it was acceptable. I thought I could make up the difference. I thought everything in this situation with all three wives, this isn't about being like in love. This is about growing a family together. We love each other. We're required. The gospel requires us to love each other. But I never really actually suffered in a.
He's full of crap. First of all, he in the book of Sister Wives, he said that Mary was, I don't have Mary up here, was the love of his life, his soulmate. This is the first soulmate that he said. Then Christine, who's on the left here, he said that she was also one of the loves of his life. Now Janelle, they always said that they had more of a friendship. They talked. They had more of a conversational relationship that developed into a romantic relationship over the years. Now, compatibility. There's probably some truth there. As he got older, because when he got into these relationships, he was young. He was in young 20s. I think he was 21 when he married Mary. Then he was 23 when he married Janelle, and then uh I think Christine maybe came a year later. He was like 24 when he married Christine. So they all were really, really young. Mary was, I believe, 19 when she married Cody. So they were all immature. They were all really, you really don't know what kind of partner you want at those ages. And so as he got older and the more he interacted with these women, I'm sure he realized that he wasn't compatible with some of them. But Janelle and him seemed to have a good relationship. They didn't start having problems until he started messing with her kids. And so Janelle was very easygoing, level headed, real pragmatic, diplomatic. And so you could talk to her and have like a real dialogue. Whereas Christine, to me, she was very emotionally immature and very petty and passive aggressive and emotional. And the same thing goes for Mary. So I could see him not being compatible with those two. But the problem what I have with what he's saying is he's kind of rewriting history. He doesn't want to take the ownership of so he says, I'm guilty of not loving them. Okay, so you're far guiltier than that, because if you knew that you didn't love these women, why did you continue to procreate with them? He wants to blame his religion, but okay, the religion says that you are to be husband to these women eternally, but you had no qualms about kicking them to the curb for the one that you love. And so now you want to be excused for your behavior because of this religion that you were in. But he strung these women along for 30 years.
In a fit of passion in this place.
How do you feel you started out with Robin then? Was it different?
Yeah, I was.
Were you different?
Well, I fell in love with Robin. I never fell in love with anybody else. I was just choosing to be in that covenant of love with them.
Now, I'm not saying what he's saying is not true. Uh, I believe him when he says he never fell in love with any of the women. I believe him when he says that. And he is a lot older now, and so he probably has a better understanding of what love is. And so I do believe that he does love Robin because he put her above his children to these women and above these women. And even though he made promises and supposedly was in a covenant with these women, to me they're just baby mamas. But what I digress. He he did show that Robin was the one that he loved, and but my thing about it is he's not anything unique. Let's not act like we all haven't been in relationships where we were just in them, just doing it because for whatever reason, we were told we need to get married young or whatever. And so I can't really say I fought him 100%. Also, like, the women need to take some ownership too. Like, they knew this man didn't love them just by the way he treated them. I, but then also, I don't know their backgrounds. They may have experienced um, seeing their mothers being treated the way Cody treated them, and just assumed that this was just how it's supposed to be. This was how relationships work. This is how love goes.
Was it just spiritual witness, or were you in love with him when you got married to him?
I was in love with the idea of him. We really did start to know each other better after we were married. I do think I loved him as much as I could. And we became much more in love as the years went by, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We did get married young, and I don't think that that's necessarily a problem because I've seen many couples that navigate that.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line, we failed to navigate that, I think.
It's interesting.